Someone's going through a spiritual initiation of sorts, and it has to do with your romantic partnership in tandem with your spiritual practice, of course. But this does seem to be kind of I'm seeing kind of like in Sailor Moon, Spirit is showing me that part when she like gets her costume on. She's like levitating in the clouds and it all kind of envelops her. That's what Spirit is showing me. So this feels like a kind of a bigger scale level up than perhaps some in the past that you've experienced. And a similar message came out recently, I think, for the new moon. That's coming up in a few days before I'm filming this, but this is a timeless reading. My name is Astrid. Welcome. My name is Astrid. I'm a psychic oracle and mentor, and this is The Sacred Gray. Please be sure to subscribe. It's free. Drop a like. It's a free way to support a growing channel. We're going to jump right in here because this has potency to it. So I actually have 4 cards here. I only pulled 3, but then I was getting 2 because Spirit said that there were some that they wanted me to reveal kind of with you guys. So I pulled those out, set them off to the side, but then the offering fell out too. So this was like the last card to come out. We have the box, the Lover, which is a card that I really, really, really love this card. If you've been around for a long time, you know the affinity that I have for this card. And then Agape, which is another card that I just really enjoy. The thing is, though, what I'm getting from this is I think that Spirit is indicating here, who you worship or what it is that you worship. There may have been, whether or not, maybe this is why you're watching this video. Spirit has a message about like kind of reassessing what it is that you're worshiping, right? And so bringing some structure to your spiritual form is what Spirit is giving to me. Which is interesting because I've been getting a lot of messaging about like backbones, like a spiritual backbone, and a lot of like stingray, symbolism coming up recently. So there's this element of forming the structure, forming the backbone, forming the like kind of bringing the masculine energy that's present in your life within you into a healthy place that is supportive of your partnerships, romantic or otherwise, and your spiritual practice. And this does have to do with, I can feel a cycle is closing out or has recently closed out. And so whatever was involved with that cycle, in order to really get the nectar from that and really like juice that upgrade, Spirit is putting into question, well, what are you worshiping, right? Like, what is the center? If it's you that's the center of your spiritual practice, what if you placed something else? That's the wisdom of this card, right? So what if you placed God or Goddess as the center of your spiritual practice, which is kind of, and this is like a shameless self-report here, right? I'm in the collective too. So it's funny because I love the narrative of like God is within you, and I always say like God is in the subconscious, and yes, I believe that, but does it serve us in our human form to place God within the self in that capacity? Would it be more helpful to, as we would in deity work, to have something outside of our own brain and mechanisms that would be a show of divinity, divine perfection, protection, just the purest form, right? Humans are inherently flawed, right? We're all cavemen. Let's take a look at these 2 cards. I'm trying to see, does Spirit even want me to do that right now? No. Okay, so we're going to reveal these in a couple of minutes. I wanted to do a Celtic cross for this collective reading. I hope you guys are having a lovely day. It is Sunday when I'm filming this. There's been this energy of like, there's been a lot of tension in collective experience lately. So I'm hoping that we can maybe bring some lightness, get some guidance, get some clarity. Let's see. Okay. Let's do a little bit of this. Okay. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. So I can see that we are definitely moving on from a situation here where, yeah, you're really focused on moving on. I'm going to get some clarity on this recent past position here, but I think that there's a situation that caused heartbreak to you and some of the people around you. Now I can see at the top of your mind, I mean, quite literally, is the Six of Swords. Like you're trying to get on with your life. And I'm hearing in regards to a few things. What's crossing you, interestingly enough, is the Hierophant, because you're showing up here as the Knight of Swords. So it's this energy of like, I kind of just want to go. And Spirit is asking you to really slow down. However, beneath you, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So there's this understanding that like, no matter what happens, no matter what you do, no matter where you're going, the harvest is still going to be, it's still going to come up, right? Like you're still going to have this grand harvest. And it's okay if you make mistakes, right? And so you just are in a place where it's like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to move on. Now, as far as kind of what else is going on here, we've got you in this place of the Page of Cups where you're showing up with this willful energy of, you know, again, this moving on. I know that I have things to learn. I know that I have places to go is what I'm hearing. I know that I have things to learn. I know that there's expansion available to me, and this, whatever it is that you're moving on from, which I'm going to get clarity on because it's the Six of Pentacles. So it obviously has something to do with, we'll get clarity on it, but it has something to do with somebody around you or a workplace or whatever. But, you know, you're in this place of understanding that everything is all right, and I'm human and humans are not perfect, and I'm doing the best I can, right? But if we're looking at what is around you, I have the Three of Swords. So there may be things in your environment that are kind of not really helping this, but with the Knight of Swords as what's representative of you, I can see that you're really focused on that. So above the Three of Swords, we have the Empress. Again, you are focused on, and then for you know, outcome here, we have Strength. You are focused on moving forward. The bottom of the deck is the Two of Wands, and then we have the Six of Wands. This is beautiful, right? This is beautiful. Let's get some clarifying cards here. I'm going to start with Self. Then we'll get into some channeled messages. Obviously, if any come through. Before. This is a clarifier for Self. The Three of Wands. There, you know that you're prepared. You know that you're prepared. You know that you have what it takes is what Spirit is giving me. You know that you have what it takes. What's crossing you. The Hierophant, just get some clarity on that. The Queen of Pentacles, that which you provide, that's that which you that the service that you give. What is recent past? Clarity on that. Six of Cups, that's another six. Six of Cups in the recent past, and Six of Pentacles, near future. Strength, coupling with the outcome card here beneath. Temperance with the Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful, beautiful. You are in the right state of mind, my friend. And then above, clarity on the Six of Swords. Five of Wands. Interesting. Okay. Let's get clarity on the Page of Cups. Four of Wands as clarity for the Page of Cups. Clarity for the Three of Swords. Ace of Cups. Yeah, wow. Lots of feelings, lots of emotions there. Clarity for the Empress, please. And this is, you know, what's around you. This is what's in your environment. Page of Wands for the Empress. I love this youthful energy coming off of you. It is so fertile. It's so abundant. And then clarity on our Strength card here. Ace of Swords. Okay. Eight of Wands anchoring this deck. Man, yeah. Spirit is showing me something. I can't quite make out what it is. It's a cloud. It's a rain cloud. It's the subconscious. It's Pisces. It's you know, 12th house, a rain cloud, rain. Yeah, so you weather the storm, right? So at the top of your mind with the Six of Swords and the Five of Wands, it's like you just want to move past whatever this was. The Six of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, my guy. Like, this is six is Venus. Six is it's Venusian, it's beauty, it's love, it's harmony, it's attachment. It is sometimes overindulgence. So with the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, it almost makes me think that there was an expectation of service that was based on an expectation of service or an expectation of exchange that was based on, you know, with Six of Cups here, and then with what's on the top of your mind being the Five of Wands and the Six of Swords, it makes me think that you were really operating from a wounded place in terms of your expectations of people around you or of yourself, right? I'm hearing self. But it could be either. With the Wheel of Fortune and Temperance underneath you, I can see it's very clear that you're just happy as a clam is what Spirit is telling me. You are happy as a clam. Okay, let's take a look at these two cards. So I have the Hunter and the Tear, which the Tear is very much giving me like what the vision that I just saw of the cloud and the rain, and then the Hunter. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm seeing this Three of Swords and Ace of Cups here, all of that water, all of that emotion that I can see like in your environment, but I think also has, you've contributed to in a way. There is this sense of acknowledgement that maybe you have barreled into, a time of your life where you were operating from a wound, right? You hadn't given yourself the time to recover from, if, for example, if this is a more recent trauma, or you hadn't done enough processing, or there's more processing that needs to be done that's being asked of you from an old trauma or wound, right? That is still kind of being drummed up. And this is essentially the removal of a blockage. And what that blockage might be, it may have to do with your speaking, with the intention that you place behind your words, etc. These two cards here, I really do love the Empress and the Page of Wands, because it's this beautiful understanding. Like, I mean, there's so much strength here. It's this beautiful understanding of like, well, how, like what I'm getting kind of overall as message here is like, well, how can I truly use my emotions as a tool for me, right? Like what can I use, what can my emotions teach me, and how can they help me, right? What can I really gain from this emotional experience that maybe you've had that would be causing you to move on in a way that still keeps this more combative, or I'm hearing disruptive, but like competitive is a word I would usually use, energy, like right at the top of your mind. There's so much forgiveness here, collective. There's so much forgiveness here, and I want to celebrate that in you. The Eight of Wands is at the bottom of this deck, and there was something else that referenced to, oh yes, the Hunter, referencing to speed. So I think that one of the greatest things, I can pull from this in terms of like advice or area of improvement would be that, like, when there's that fast moving energy, whether it's coming from within you or from the external, there is the need to really, like, kind of not push back on it, but just offer a gentleness, just offer a slowness. And something that might be helpful for you if you pray or if you talk to your guides, is to ask them to be gentle with you. Make it easy. Make it easy. Make it gentle, right? Make it easy to integrate for me, whatever this lesson is, because this feels quite tender. Spirit is calling me to the Poesis Oracle for you. I'm seeing this, Spirit is giving me this image of like a Band-Aid being ripped off. And with all of this Wands energy here, it's like, it kind of does, the Band-Aid being ripped off does kind of speak to this speed, this kind of brutality almost, that I am feeling for you. That, oh my gosh, tears. Whoa, with the tear. Somebody's been crying. Tears. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, and then we've got noise at the bottom of the deck. Let's get a little bit more. What does this collective need to know? Recharge. I'll show you in a second. Noise coming out again here. That one really wanted to come out. And abundance. With wisdom at the bottom. Womb. Root. Okay. So, tears, recharge. Okay. So if you have been crying, right? If you have been like that takes quite a toll, right? And then we have abundance. And then, what was the other one? Noise. This one really wanted to come out here. Okay. So I'm just making sure this thing is focused, because I don't know if you've been around, it'll get a little messed up there sometimes. Okay. So yeah, I can tell that some of you guys have really been crying, with all of these cups here, Six of Cups. I guess there really aren't that many cups. Page of Cups. It's actually just a lot of Pentacles and Wands. Some major arcana and swords. Not a whole lot of cups. We've got the Ace of Cups. Regardless, I have a feeling you've been crying, baby. And that's all right. I think that the tears that are coming out of you. Okay, so Spirit's giving me a message. I'm hearing wallows. The tears that are coming out of you are an old river. It's an old river, an old guide, an old truce, an old pact, an old promise. This is ancient kind of stuff here. So, okay, so Spirit is basically indicating to me that you have an ancestor who's been working really closely to you to remove these blockages that you are seeing in the 3D. You're seeing yourself moving on from them. It seems to be at the center of your focus. And in having that ancestor so close to you, it is, because of the age of this wound, it obviously transcends your lifetime. It goes back into your lineage, is what I'm feeling. In processing this wound on an energetic and spiritual level, the way that you see it in the 3D, it can be, they're saying, quite disruptive, quite overwhelming, taxing, and endearing is a word that they're using also, which is really interesting, because I think that there's a part of you, this is referencing kind of a cycle completion where, with them throwing the word endearing in there, it's making me, it's helping me understand that a part of you, may be tempted to feed this wound, right? To feed this element of your being that would be sabotaging. Okay. But there's abundance here. And then underneath, I'm just noticing underneath the Ace of Wands is the, underneath the Eight of Wands is the Ace of Wands, and then the 10 of Pentacles, and then Judgment. Knight of Cups, Six of Swords. Wow. Yeah. So, okay, this was I feel like you had a really big moment here, collective, where you really were able to see this wound kind of like out, I'm hearing like on display, and it gave you, if you should choose, it gives you kind of this, I'm like seeing like a museum, what is it called when you go to the museum? It's like artifacts that are on display, right? And so you can, in being able to see it kind of in front of you, walking by it, kind of really studying it, appreciating it, analyzing it in a way, it gives you this ability to really juice that, pull the inspiration out of it, but then also really juice like this 10 of Pentacles and Judgment. Like, the thunder doesn't clap, there is still noise after the thunder claps, like it echoes, right? So as soon as it hits, you have the chance to keep listening, right? There's this old quote that I love. I have like a screenshot in my phone. It's from this book where it's like the church bell rings and it echoes through the flowers in the garden, or something like that. Like the garden flowers like continue that echo. So it's like the details and the appreciation and the spiritual kind of integration of a wound that exists within you or your family's lineage, it's not something that ever truly goes away. You are free to revisit it many times, right? Like this is the cycle, but every time you visit it, like, are you in a place because like God has brought you there, like, look at this, right? Look at how tough this is. Or are you there because it's like it's a field trip, like it's a trip, like it's a school trip, right? Like you're there because you're bettering yourself, right? You're there because you're learning. Yeah. And with Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom, beneath you here, and then Strength and the Ace of Swords as an outcome, the Empress and the Page of Wands below that, it's like, your focus is very much in the right place here. Okay. Your focus is very much in the right place. I want to get some charms. Okay. How funny. Oh my God. It's a little horse. Okay, so we have the hunter here, and then we have the horse. Little on the nose there, Spirit. Little on the nose. Very cool. Let me look up like horse medicine. I look up horse medicine, and like some conspiracy theory is gonna come up. Hang on. Let me see really quick. So like horse, spirit, animal, medicine. Whoops. Horse, spirit, animal, meaning. Possess the strength and courage to pursue our dreams with unwavering determination, unbridled by the limitations imposed by others or ourselves. So interesting. So your energy, desire to go further, need to release your desire. So it's kind of like, okay, are we clinging a little bit too hard to manifestations as well? Like, if you is the need for, like, the strength is already like there. The strength is already in there. And then bringing me back to agape here, it's like, what is the center of your faith? What is the center, right? Like if we're looking at agape, like what are you praising, right? Is it the Is it the manifestation itself? Is it the power? Is it that which you don't have, right? Is it that which you're calling in? Is it what you feel may be required to call it in, right? Is it basically coming from a place of lack, or is it that which can get you there? Do you see what I'm saying here? Agape is asking you to kind of, again, reassess as a form of initiation, right? As a form of like this spiritual understanding that like, hey, this is something that you can use as an energetic source of power, right? And it doesn't have to be something that you don't have. It doesn't have to be something that is within you drawing on your own energy. It can be actually something that is separate from you and all powerful, right? The other charms we got a little ghost, I believe is what that is. Yes. I'm like, which one am I holding up? Oh, family. Yep. Wow. Little on the nose there, spirit. Little on the nose. I'm like trying to see. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. It says family. That's a little on the nose there. That's a little on the nose there, buddy. And then a corgi. Some of you guys might have a corgi. I don't know. I think if I don't like putting my hand up. It's annoying. Yeah. That's better. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Little interruption, but we're back. So if you've made it this far, I'd love to ask you to subscribe. It's free. It's a great way to support a growing channel. Drop a like, drop a comment, whatever. We are going to, I moved some of these cards up. We're going to just pull some advice cards for you. And then I know I have so many cards here, but Spirit always wants me to like I'll get into it. And then Spirit's like, well, what about this one? So I want to pull from the Animal Spirits Oracle after we get some advice for you. Like there's something in here too. Wow, 6 of Wands. This came out earlier. I think it was under the 2 of Wands. That's really cool. Okay, so advice 6 of Wands. This is a success. This is and the Lovers. Wow. Okay, and then the 4 of Cups at the bottom, the King of Wands, and the 3 of Wands. So many wands here. So many wands. So for your advice, you are welcome to trust that you've done well. You are welcome to trust that whatever this situation is that you're so focused on moving past, it is safe for you to move past it, and it is safe for you to soften in the face of adversity, right? It is safe for you to soften. I saw this post earlier that I just thought was so powerful. It's this reminder that your power is in your stillness, not in your ability to, handle conflict or whatever. This girl on TikTok, we both follow each other. Her name is like Sabi Sorceress or something like that. She's just lovely. And she pointed that out. And I just felt like the energy of, the day that I'm filming this is really appropriate for a message like that. But I think it's also just a really generous and helpful reminder that your power is not in your ability to handle conflict. Your power is in your ability to be still, right? All right, Spirit. So what kind of card do we have in here? What did you want me to pull this out for? What do you got? The Starfish, beauty, abundance. It can be vain, right? The Starfish can be vain. I feel like there's also this understanding that, as hard as you work, it can be difficult at times to remember that. I'm thinking back to this, tying it into the Agape card, that, we are not the center of our worlds, actually. And so your higher power is kind of calling a reminder in here, like, hey, we brought you this lesson. We brought you this shift. We brought you this perspective. And now, we want you to remember that if you want to do your job well, whatever it is, okay, there is perhaps a great benefit that comes from allowing surrender in the form of not being the center of your own world, right? Understanding that your higher power is actually the center of your own world, and you can understand the power of the subconscious, but you don't have to place that in God's power, right? And again, like, I'm guilty of this too. It may be more beneficial, and this doesn't, in no way am I ever, nothing that I say is ever doctrine, right? I feel like I don't need to clarify this. You just take whatever you want to take and you leave whatever you want to leave. I really don't care, right? I'm just here as a channel and a guide, and I'm just here to try to help, but it might be helpful it might be beneficial to consider placing God as like a figure. What are you worshiping? Is it God? Is it goddess? Is it a particular deity that you work with? What is it, right? And allow that to be the center of your focus and your devotion. Okay, now may be the time for you to adhere yourself to something that is outside of yourself, something that is bigger. I'm thinking that Three of Pentacles type of energy, right? You're serving something outside of yourself as a means to just be better at whatever it is that you do. Spirit wants me to grab one more. I was gonna put it away, but the moth. Okay, yes. So beautiful rebirth energy, beautiful, like really beautiful moths. Let's read the guidebook for this, but moths are just a beautiful symbol of rebirth. Impulse, hasty, and wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. Okay, this is not what I remember. I'm glad I pulled out the guidebook. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic and whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others and jittery. And to bring into balance, you must finish a project. I love that. So yeah, I mean, just kind of further solidifying that for many of you, I do believe this does have to do with work or a creative project, right? This doesn't have to be about your relationship, but even if it is about your relationship, then we could kind of translate that to this like jittery energy that may be coming from whatever wound has been activated in your subconscious. Like, there's so many things here about kind of removing yourself and remembering the higher purpose. It may be helpful, working with this moth energy, to ground into, ground your spiritual practice into something outside of you, especially if you are someone who does carry that, like, because I'm neurospicy, right? She's a neurospicy girl. And so, yeah, sometimes projects go unfinished. I can relate to this card for sure. And so it may be helpful if you ground yourself in like, well, I'm doing this for, this higher purpose, then that project might actually get done, right? If you're placing yourself in the center of whatever your practice is or whatever service you're providing, then the flaws and the pitfalls and the struggles of the self get in the way. Why would you draw your energy from that? This is just a perspective, right? This is just an option. You don't have to take it at all. And frankly, it's completely, debatable if that's even something that, if one is better than the other. I don't really think either is better than either, right? Maybe there's, I don't know. I hope that there was a nugget in here for you. I felt really, really called to do a collective reading today. If you're still here, I really want to thank you. I hope that you subscribe and you drop a like. I want to also say I am making shifts to the way that I make content. I am going forward, I believe I'm just going to be doing the North Node readings and then collective readings. I would love to hear your thoughts about, if there's anything that you'd like to see from my channel. One of my readings just did pretty well recently, and I just want to thank everyone who subscribed. If you're watching this, thank you so much. It really means the world. I have 70,000 followers on TikTok, and I'm bringing it over here. I have to rebuild like brick by brick over here because I can't really rely on that platform. And I think that YouTube is a much healthier place generally. But I'm very happy to be here, and I'm grateful for this platform, and I'm grateful for all of you watching. And so if you are new here, I just wonder, if you have the time, if you're interested, as I grow and kind of settle into what I'm offering here on YouTube, this is a different style of work. What do you enjoy? What do you get the most out of from what you've seen from me, from what you've seen maybe just in general? What's most helpful for you from collective readings or from readers in general? Do you like the North Node idea, or do you prefer like the Sun Moon Rising? I know that many people prefer the Sun Moon Rising, but I do have reasons. There's like a mosquito flying around here. I do have reasons for doing the North Node, and I can elaborate that on a different video. But yeah, I really appreciate your presence, your patronage of any kind. And I'm really, really grateful to be here on YouTube. And I'm really, really grateful for all of you who have stuck around. Like, I can't explain to you how much it means. It's really great. So thank you so much for being here. And I hope that I just give you a little bit of peace in your life, if anything. I hope I give you a little bit of peace, a little bit of direction, a little bit of, a sense of sovereignty, a reminder of your own power, right? A reminder of who you are. Okay. If you're really, really new here, which quite a few of you are, I want to also promise you that I will never hold your hand during a reading. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And unless I state, like, I'm going to hold your hand while I say this, I'm going to tell you exactly what is here without really sugarcoating things, right? I'm gentle in my delivery, of course, but sometimes things need to be put out there straight, And so you have the promise of authenticity from me. Okay. So again, thank you so much for everyone who is new here. I love you. And I will see you again shortly. And I hope to hear from you in the comments. Okay. The desk overlord, we did get a few name recommendations. And I really, really appreciate it. We are still taking name suggestions if you want to drop those in the comments as well. Okay. Take care, everyone. Okay.